Welcome to Warblog. I'm continuing the opening of the M5 highway scenario. From yesterday. Essentially, I don't think it's really going to be particularly difficult. This is actually my second recording, fortunately I didn't do any moves, but I keep losing the focus of the recorder, which should stay at the top. It's sort of there now, but so I'll go through what I did originally. Basically, we've got the three sectors. And this is solid. Now, they don't really have much to push through. I mean, this is really, there's a bit of a nut to crunch there, but one unit, he was lucky to hold up last turn. There's nothing to stop us from getting any further in that direction here. Here, we really need to sort of push this unit, these two units back. So we need to go against this, and this will help us sort of get a line more like this. At the very least, if we can push that one back, it will be a little further, and if we can push this other one back, it will be more like that, and we could possibly use these units to push back on that. Here, it's going to be fairly straightforward to push on that unit, to push on that unit. These are going to sort of form up to a line like that. This is the only sort of block that requires some attention, mainly because we've got, these two forces are not necessarily working together, so the Syrians, when they do their turn, will probably want to push against this unit, and then the Hezbollah units will have to decide what they want to do. Now, mostly they've got artillery. So, where I got up to in the last video was deciding where to put the air power. Now, obviously going for big stacks is always a nice option, but I think I might try and just see. There's not much in these. There's two in this stack. You can either do that or really go for the rockets, because I do want to take these rockets out. I mean, he's at 7.4, so he might actually rout. Taking these rockets out might be a nice target. See, the rockets are the things that are going to cause problems. So we've got these rockets here. But the question is, I really want to sort of push back on this. And what I'm sort of half aware of is, I know I can do it, but because I don't have a huge number of units here, if I get an exchange, I'm stuck again for another turn. So I really need to sort of pressurize this sector so that when I do the assault, it's going to collapse. But it's quite an expensive use of air power. I'd rather put my air power on these rockets and things, because they're going to be the things that are going to come down next turn and cause serious problems. But unfortunately, I'm not sure what I did on the last one, but these guys are still there, so maybe I didn't move them. There's nothing really to block that. I would have thought I'd move the rockets back at least. Or maybe I don't know. Maybe I fired them before I thought of moving them. But these guys, all they have to do is fire on these tanks. And he's at 1, he's at 2, and he's at 1. So that the guy's on 2. It's only a couple more hits before he's down to 3 or 4, which is starting to get a bit worn out. And it's the rockets that can do that. If we take the rockets away, they've got no offensive capability really. They could counterattack against this unit, but it'd probably expose them. The only other thing to just mention, the engineers really need to get into. I think we've got a couple of engineers there. They need to get up into Abu Shailan, because there's mines and earthworks in the way. So I don't know what to do with my air power. That's the big sort of conundrum, really. I really feel that I want to sort of ensure that I can take care of this. But it just seems expensive, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to put 2, 2, 3. Yeah, that should work. Very disappointing, really. I mean, he's at 0.3, he's at 3, he's at 1.2, he's at 1. That's that. So the rockets want to move forward, so I can move. I'm going to assume that I'll be able to shield these units, so I can at least put them in my engineers, so he can go there. And I will put my engineers in there, because I know they can only move 2. And I will put my rockets. So I've only got 2 rockets. Well, this is the Syrian end, so I'll do this and this. Is that 3.9 and 1.9? So altogether, the indirect fire has been fairly poor. Now the thing is, I sort of would like to get the extra surround, but if I move there, he won't have a friendly extra retreat to, so he could move there, which would be worse. So if I get a retreat, at least at this stage, he will go there. I don't want to commit anyone else into this. See, one of the things about this is that although you realise, well, I can easily push forward on things, because there's not the volume of units, you can only do so much, and it's that time, that temporal factor that really sort of bites, I think. Right, so we managed to push them back, which is fortunate, because we only had 2-to-1 odds on that. Versus 4. This is a very convenient 4, wasn't it? We have to move it further forward. So the question is really, do we want to try another attack? The anti-tank is halved, nearly. 1.9, 1.3. 2.5. They've been hit, haven't they? See, this is the issue really. I mean, should I swing these mechanized units in more, in better support? Because these are really weak. Let me see how these attacks go. See, that's not what we want, an exchange. That's the end of it. I mean, instead of having maybe a couple more moves, a bit of adjustments, some units are not going anywhere. And that, how did we get to 16? I know why he got to 16. It's because he's in urban. See, I keep forgetting all of these things. If you're in urban, you're multiplied. Let's see what the rules say. I can't even remember half of these things. That's why I don't like the complexity, but you sort of get the feeling that you need to do these things. Increased urban defense. So if you're in a village, you're doubled. If you're in a town or light urban, you're times 4. Okay, so you're times 4, but was he dug in? No, but he was probably doubled already because he was urban. So it's like, because any unit in urban is doubled, because he then gets his regular bonus in urban, which is times 4, so that's times 8, which is 16. And I just didn't think of that. And it's that sort of stuff that I did deliberately to make irregulars very difficult to attack in these urban areas. And so what we've got is these sort of things around here that mean that they're going to be very difficult to get rid of. So again, it comes back to, all of these are more down here, and be sort of quite difficult to sort of move them out of anything. These villages and towns, they're doubled up. I just can't keep my head around the odds, but all the factors. But I think that's it's fair enough. I think the jury's out on that a little, but it was definitely what I intended. But we lost on that seriously because I didn't think. So I think we're going to have to bring these units in to support these attacks, because obviously we've got irregulars. So this is what, the whole idea was to make it so that these irregulars out in the open, that they're weak, but in these towns, they're particularly tough. The only thing more that I should note is that these are tough irregulars. The difference between a 1-1-3 and a 1-2-3 is massive when you consider the other multipliers in effect. But I do that to bring down the sort of the issue of having lots and lots of units to make a front line, to requiring a fewer, because he can hold that position almost indefinitely, because we just can't attack it without massive odds or air power going in first. But I'm going to commit my mechanized units now in this direction. I want to crack that. Now here, I'm going to go for it. I'm feeling desperate, not lucky. Exchange. Okay, well, that's fortunate there. So again, we've not made any ground. We've lost there, we made we gained 1 unit there. Now the Hezbollah units. Now one of the questions here is, what do we do with our artillery? Well, we've got 2 artillery pieces there. I think we're going to have to fire them against that, but we could bring some to bear against this. I'm going to fire everything I can at this stack, because this stack needs to go. Nice numbers. Some more nice numbers. Okay, so that brings them down to 3.6, 2.8, 6.6. I'm going to bring 2 on this. So I really want to attack that stack first, but I also think that I've got an edge on this. So what I'd like to do is move both of these units there. But what I think I really should be doing, so this unit will have a few more. What I'm hoping is I can push him back into there. Do I want to commit any of these in this direction? I think these guys have got to be moving in towards these. See, if he moves there, he gets stuck in the zone of control against that. He moves into there, so we don't have the mobility to just move him through. I mean, we could move into there and then attack, but it'd be a 1-to-1, and that's just not worth it. So these are going to have to be committed over here, I think. I don't want to move into there to get the bonus, because I want him to retreat to there. If he moves there, he could equally retreat to there or there. Fingers crossed. This is what I was sort of talking about and thinking about, really, because they don't suffer, I don't think. Oh, they did. I can never remember. But from an exchange, I thought the irregulars didn't suffer. I might have changed that, actually. But we've made no progress. We've moved we've pulled one hex back. You know, there's nothing. Here, what have we got? Well, we've got some artillery we can bring to bear. Let's bring both of these units to bear. So we devised a sort of strategy and set of plans. 0.5, 2. You see, the thing is, I'm going to have to push them both there. Hopefully we can knock them out. Because once they're out of their entrenchments, they're a lot easier to deal with. The DR with a 2-to-1, that was good. And we've had a few 2-to-1s and failed. I think these, you know, fairly dismal die rolls more than anything else. But we can sort of almost follow up on that. Oh, we can get these engineers. I forgot to move them. So that's good. That blocks that hex. This is good. So I can do this. And hopefully we can get everything we need. We need to these engineers as well into this fight. Okay, that's good. We've got a DE on that, and we pushed him back to there, which is nice because I can follow that up. He'll lose all his movement going across, but his other units do we need? Okay, so we've got a DE on there. Do we want to move across this river? As well. So we've achieved partial success here. The next thing being, of course, this move. So the Hezbollah units are succeeding within the remit of their objectives. 2-1 is still pushing it with a BR, which is nice. So they can even move into Madajin and Halab. They haven't even been pushed out of their entrenchments yet. I don't want to fight across the river, there or there. So that's all of that done. Here, it should be a lot easier. I could commit these units against that. What I really want to do is try and push that unit back. I'd like to really knock these guys out. So I want to get this engineer into there. I want to get these ones in there if I can. I don't think I can. I think he can get into there if it comes down this highway. But we need to move that unit out first. He's at 0. And he's just retreat, so he's going to be worth about 4. So what do we do with these rockets? We've got 2. Do we want to push them both against that? I really want to sort of try and really knuckle down on this. They're not in anything either, are they? So the question is, what do I want to do with these rockets? I think we'll use them both against this. It makes sense, they're the nearest enemy. 2. Okay, so it's 1 in total. So we've got 1.8. We can push these units into here. Attack. I don't even want to count the odds, I just want to make sure I get some success. Oh, it's just as well with a dice roll of 12. So we pushed him back. Right. Let's see what we can do with these engineers. Okay, we've got something in there. There's only enough movement. See, I want to knock them back. They're at 0. And 3 tanks against that. Let's do it. Okay. We pushed him back to there. Which wasn't brilliant. Because what I'd like to do is knock him back. So I don't want to spend 2 units in that. I'd like to push 2 of these armoured units to knock them back, but I want to do a big assault here. So I could move there and attack. I don't think he can do much really. What can he do? He can move there and there. So I don't know what I'm getting there. I just want to clean. I want to keep things clean, so I'm going to really try and push against him. Exchange. So we've got a weakened attack here. But at least we pushed them out. Okay, so that means that we can either continue to drive against that, or try and take these units out. I'm going to send 2 this way and 1 this way. But we don't have enough movement. He has. Exchange. Really expensive. Really difficult. Exchange. Look at that embarrassing line. Okay, this area here. See, I thought it would just be a walkover, but again, it's really not. I think the rockets are going to have to come down on here. Okay, let's just push things forward so we've got an idea of where we're at now. We want to attack anything there. Engineers struggle with movement. We could push them in with the attack there, we could push them to there and there. Getting in the attack there. We will push them there. Go for this attack first. 1 DR, so we push them out. And this was the other guy, wasn't it? Something was there, he went there. Okay, they're all fresh, so we'll probably need everything against that, so we probably won't be able to go for this unless we win outright. Yeah, that's good. See, that's the sort of advance that are needed in all of these other areas, you know, here and here, just sort of pushing, you know, winning all of the battles. Because if you win the first battle, you've got the option for a second one, like here. You know, by winning this, we've now got this. You know, it's easier to make that decision because it's less critical if we fail. He's got some movement, so I sort of want him to. I don't think I want to. I could see I could push him into that attack there. The engineers will stop them storming through on these rockets, so I'm going to do that. And I'm going to combine it with this Hezbollah unit in a joint operation, just because it makes sense. And we push them back, but to where? That's the question. Across the river. Oh no, they went to there. So the Hezbollah unit can advance. Well, that's all of that. So let's end that turn. Let's get it back into colour and look at the damage. I think it's been a mediocre turn. I think we failed abysmally down here. It demonstrates the significance of the lack of units. We didn't do so well here, but we sort of recovered slightly there by getting that and got the bonus of that. Here we did very well, I think, because we pushed forward virtually on all fronts. Although it was not so great up here, we've managed to push into that hex, to push here, and more importantly to push here. But even so, I think it's sort of, when you look at it, I think the issue comes down to how much you can do in a turn, not necessarily how strong you are. So these two, although we've only got 2 units and all these units fighting them, if they're positioned correctly, you know, that they can actually slow the advance down so much that it becomes quite effective in slowing it down by, you know, getting those exchanges. Because when they get the exchange, it means that the turn's over. And that has a big effect because it means that you can't do your second or possibly even your third attack with your mobile units. And that's what really sort of drives things and allows, you know, a rapid sort of pushback. But we haven't really been able to sort of do much here, but I think this is a kind of breakthrough. Next turn we'll have to limber up our artillery and dedicate our artillery to moving forward. But we've got obstacles and things like this, you see. So at least next turn we'll be able to get rid of the mines in there, if we're still there, that is. So now it's the Hayat Tahrir al-Sham move. Well, we've got to try and use the option to recover wherever possible. Now these rockets are at 3.8. It might be worth drawing them back to preserve them. So if I draw them back to there, I can put these rockets down here onto the road. Let's just look at all the rocket units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the ones I can see. I don't think there are any more. I don't think there's anything under that. There's some under there, I think. No, they're not. So we've got these ones. And I think the thing to do is to really make sure we don't lose them. I think, well, I think with these units, I'm going to bring them back to there, and then I'm going to fire on that. Here, I'm going to bring, these units are going to move, so this rocket unit's going to go there, and then fire on that, and this rocket unit's going to move here, and fire on that. So we're pushing our rocket units to there. That rocket unit's going to go to there. This rocket unit, because there's not multiple targets, I might try and move. He's only got 3 movement, but I'm going to try and move him into there where he gets some protection. These rocket units, I think, are going to move back into Cafe Giangarbi. These ones can just sit there for the time being. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can fire on these. That's the rocket units we can see. There's none in there, none in there, none there. These are all motorized irregulars, and there's none in there. So we're right in our assumptions. See, if I move him into there, the problem is he won't be able to fire. So I'm not going to move him fully this turn. He's going to stay. Well, actually, he's in there, so I'm going to leave him there, because I'm going to put some units in there, and that will give them a much bigger defence. And let's face it, this guy's moving forward, so let's move him there just for the time being. He might move into there if he can. He's moving left. And he's going to move there, 1.5. This rocket guy is going to move, so he can move 2. So that's all our rockets redeployed according to sort of plan. So let's fire them on whatever targets we can. Everything we can onto that. One point 8, 1.1, 1. So these are not brilliant results. Oh, that was good. 2.53 on that tank. Look. Well, how can you have 3? Oh, I know. You've got 3, but it was then divided by... See, I haven't done that in the results. Because it's armor, armor is... The new results on armor are... I'll have to make a note of that, and I'll probably forget because it's not critical, because it is right. Basically, you know, as you might imagine, rockets don't really do much damage to armor. You know, the indirect fire of these rockets, they don't. And, you know, to save armor being decimated, I made that adjustment. But we still managed to do some damage on this stack. Right, so that's that really. The next thing obviously is this defensive line. Now I want to do something with these engineers. But I might push them into this village. And next turn I'll be able to do something like mines and obstacles, and that will create a little extra hindrance. And leave him to recover at least 1. He's at 6.5, which is not good, but we've got these units and we want to start using them. I would like to get these units against this tank. So these are these little anti-tank guided missiles. 0. So missed. We've got 0.9 on that. So he's now at 3.9. Every little bit helps, really. Now this engineering guy is just an engineering guy, and we can possibly attack him. But I think I'd rather recover. See, we could attack that unit there, but we would only be at 1-to-1, a big unit. It'd be nice if we were adjacent to these engineers. I want them to recover, so I'm not going to do that. We've still got this big block of units down here. Let's see if I can get these rockets along the road. So there's 20 units. That's nice. Right. Well, we really want to push them along the road, so I think we might as well just do it. How many of these do we want down here? We want to split 2 of them off down in this direction. You see, he's actually quite weak. You know, I could attack that. I think I will. He's marginally weak as well. So he's got these 2 units that are just set there on their own. Let's go for the armoured unit. We can destroy it. Oh, look at that. 5-to-1 DE eliminated. That's the sort of thing that the Syrians can't afford. They can't afford to go around losing their tanks. That was well used recovery. You know, we gave up our recovery and we've now removed, you know, he was at 3, which isn't so embarrassing, but that was, you know, that was it. We don't have enough movement really, but we've got more units. We can put in 2 units into there. So that's really pushed him forward. They weren't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that. You know, we destroyed a piece of armour, knocked him back. You know, we can almost double down on that. Oh, I can't move through this stack. It's all moved up. If we could move into there. I don't think we could actually even do that. No. Wow. They're going to have to really consider their line, because any single unit is going to be a target. I feel like attacking the engineers. I'm feeling lucky. I know the thing is they're going to get a bonus because they're in minefields and they're in earthworks, but I'm feeling lucky. Exchange. Oh well. That wasn't lucky, so that was a waste. A real waste. I'm not going to do it against that. Right, so that's that. Down here, do we want to just move out of here? So he's pushed this unit forward and he's at 2.7. You know, we've got this anti-tank unit. Nope, 0. But see, it might involve giving up our entrenchments, but there's a 2. We could move forward and attack these artillery pieces. It's just so tempting to sort of, I mean, I can move into there and get that massive bonus. I think I will. Well, might be better to do it this way. 50 minutes. Time flies by. Two. See if I can push him back. I mean, 2.7. So what I'm really tempted to do is go for this artillery. We've got a stack in there though. Both fresh. We can redeploy them in this direction. Push them down in this direction. I'm going to give up my defences because I feel that look at that, there's just a stack of rockets in there and engineers. If I can move into there and move into there, get 2 to 1 against that. I can knock these guys out. Ooh, 3 minutes. I'm going to go like this. I'm really pushing it. I'm going to go like this. I'm really clenching my teeth. I know, also I'm not talking, but oh, an exchange! Whenever I feel like that, I feel like I've been gambling, and I wonder whether it's legal. And here, see, that could have gone on so much better. And an exchange. How did we get an exchange there? I mean, I don't understand that. Because artillery shouldn't get much of a defence. I think I know what it was. They're not getting their offensive bonus against artillery, and I've made a note of that a long time ago. So I've messed up all my defences. I didn't win against that. I pushed him up a bit, so I'm feeling as though I've got to really start to sort of panic a bit. I'm going to bring him forward. So I can't attack them, they're too big. But what I can do is put him there. There. Push him into there. I don't want to advance onto that engineer. The only reason I attack that one is he can do something next turn, but I think that's everything really. Let's move these guys forward. "55 minutes. Is there anything else I can do?" Not really. my attack there. I can attack that. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. So let's just end that turn. I'm going to play another game, but not today. Maybe tomorrow or sometime, because I don't want to spend too much time playing this game. I've got things to do, but 56 minutes. I've got a few minutes to just talk about this. I think making advances, but this is going to be far trickier than I first anticipated. But they've counter-attacked there. And then made some really, these are massive impacts. We've lost an armoured unit, and we've had these guys pushed back to 5, and we've got this massive reinforcement element come in there, giving them the opportunity with mobile units to dynamically counter-attack at anything that's not strong. This is just weak, but it's got these, it's got all these earthworks and mines that make it difficult going, and they're only really relatively weak units once they start to get a hit with anything. So, I don't know really. It's looking again, just like it ended at turn 1, very sort of open. When I started turn 2, I thought this would be a walkover. So I'm interested and quite excited to play turn 3, and I think the remarkable thing about it is that I'm only at turn 3, and so much has sort of happened. I mean, even these units down here, which was this was supposed to be the backstop of the of the defensive line, they can even start to come forward now. We'll see, but they've still got their air power, but they lose. This is the last turn for the Syrian Air Force. After that, they've only got the Russians. That was just a typo, but I left it. Instead of giving them sort of like 20 sorting, I only gave them 3. I just typed 333 by accident. But I thought, I'll leave it. It's interesting. Okay, well, I'll leave it at that, and I'll speak to you later. Cheerio.